Anyway, if we look at my mastering chain here, I've just put in this tonal balance control plugin, which is something I use. I can't leave it on the project itself because I know a lot of you won't have it, but I just want to use it. I haven't switched it on yet, but I just want to see where the mix is. Tonal balance is quite good at showing you, look, maybe you can make some adjustments here. So let's switch that off. So in terms of EQ, we've just, I've boosted this around 84 hertz, and I've pulled it down at about 153. Now I've high passed it just as a matter of kind of habit more than anything, just to make sure that there's no really low end information in there. But I just wanted this is kind of a Pultec EQ curve, and it's adding a little bit of weight on the bottom end that I thought might be beneficial. Very subtle. Again, I've got these speakers quite low, but I can hear it on the headphones. Then we're coming into multi-band compression. Now, there's no black art to this, really. It's almost like a tonal rebalance. But for me, the multi-band compression goes a long way to really making the mix more cohesive. So we'll switch that on and off to hear what that's doing. So we can use that to bring lows, mids or highs more in balance with the other elements. But you can hear with the multi-band compression, it really does help pull everything together. It really is like a final stage of cohesiveness. Then I'm using the glue compressor for another level of overall compression. In this case, I'm using quite a lot of makeup gain on this, just because I tend not to run into the Ableton Live limiter very much because it's not particularly good. But what you can do, I always have soft clipping on by default. Again, it's a habit thing. If I use the glue compressor, I tend to put soft clipping on. But if we turn soft clipping off, we can actually use the glue to push into the Ableton limiter a bit more, and it's probably going to give us a much denser sound. So let's try that. We are clipping a little bit here, which is okay, but you can see that it's actually running into the Ableton limiter a lot more by having soft clipping on. So have a listen to what's happening as I'm using this makeup gain pushing into the limiter. Remember, any dynamics processing is very much dependent on the signal being punched into it. That's probably coming through on the mic quite a lot. So it's not just getting louder, it's actually getting denser as well. So this is another trick you can use in mastering, or not just mastering anyway. Lifting off, I can feel the heat. So as I back off on the mastering gain, sorry, the makeup gain on the glue compressor, you can actually hear the mix isn't just getting quieter, it's kind of falling away a little bit as well. Lifting off, I can feel the heat. I can hear my digital heartbeat. We're lifting off for a second chance. I probably want to be around there. That's definitely more than loud enough. And that's pretty much all I've done for the mastering. So let's just open up tonal balance. This plugin, iZotope stuff is often on sale. If you can get a lot of the iZotope mastering processors and the mix processors as well, they're all very good. They're quite heavy-handed, but a lot of them are very useful. So what tonal balance does is it's split into 4 bands: low, low mids, high mids, and highs. You can actually solo each band and listen to what's going on.
Lifting off, I can feel the heat.
And basically what you do is you choose a music style that's most similar to what you're doing, and it will analyze the frequency spread and tell you how close you are. So I'm thinking probably pop is where we want to be. So you can either do it in bands like this or a more overall view. So let's look at this one.
Lifting off, I can feel the
Take a second to settle down.
I can hear my digital heartbeats.
So this green line represents the range in which it's suggesting you want to be in, and I'm quite happy with where that is. I wouldn't worry too much about the little dips and troughs. That's all down to the elements you've got in the music. I mean, you can try and rebalance those so it's perfectly straight, but it's like it doesn't really matter. Now, it is suggesting that we're probably or possibly a slight bit bass heavy.
Lifting off, I can feel the heat.
So let's switch off this little EQ tweak I made.
I can hear my digital heartbeats. Lifting off for a second chance to the stars.
But overall, I'm very happy with where that's sitting now. The tweak I made to the vocal is probably what's pushing things up here around, look, between 6 and 10. We pushed it up at about 7, so that's probably about right. But something to note about a lot of synthwave music, if you listen to it, compared to something like, I don't know, techno or even trance. Techno and trance are very mid-forward. They tend to have a lot of bass and a lot of mid and a lot of top end. Whereas a lot of synthwave music is more smiley face. You get a lot of low end and a lot of top end. That's not to say there's no mids in it, but this balance here I'm quite happy with. So let me just get rid of tonal balance because we can't keep that. Shush phone. And then really it's just what did we learn overall? I mean, first of all, go back and watch the Midnight tutorial as well. When synthwave appeared several years ago, well, probably 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more, it struck me that it's a very structurally simplistic form of music. Most of it, especially if you go back and look at the Midnight tutorial and this, there's not a huge amount of stuff going on, but really it's about choosing sounds that work together more so than most other genres. Yeah, I would argue that synthwave is particularly prone to this ability to pick really high quality sounds. And when we talk about analog synths, that's what we mean. It's these synths that stand up on their own. And if you listen to a lot of the 80s synth pop, there's not a huge amount going on, but there's just very well crafted patches, synth patches that are almost on a par with a lead vocal. You recognise an 80s synth pop track almost as much for the synth lines as the vocals themselves or the melody. So it's not about layering tons and tons and tons of stuff on top of each other. It's just about choosing the right sounds and getting them working well together. And it's also this catchy melody. Catchy melody was everything back in the day. And it still is with synthwave, whether it be a vocal or an instrumental track. It's something that when you walk away, you're still humming it. And that's not something, I mean, I listen to a lot of techno, and like if I listen to some Stefan Bodzin or Colin, I don't necessarily walk away and still hear the track 10 minutes later. I'm not whistling it in the car. Whereas stuff like this, you do. You're like, you find these tunes in your head all day, and that's really what synthwave should be about, I think. So that's pretty much it. I hope you found these videos useful. Really good if you could like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and there will be a lot of Q&As on this synthwave track on the Sonic Academy website. I will be poking my head in the forums, and hopefully I can help you guys out if you've got any questions. And I hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you.